Welcome children. Take out your geography book. Today's topic is industrial waste. Most of the industries release chemicals like chlorides, sulfides, carbonates, nitrates and metals like zinc, mercury, copper, chromium, etc. in the rivers of their water resources. Now, most of the industries, what they release? They release some chemicals, that is chlorides, sulfides, carbonate, nitrates, metal. And metal, what it includes? It includes zinc, mercury, copper, chromium, etc. Where they release it? They release it in the river and in the water sources. One of these, lead, magnesium and mercury, are most harmful for human, plants and animals. Now, this lead, manganese and mercury, what are they? They are very much harmful. That is harmful for human beings, they are harmful for plants and even they are harmful for animals. Clearing of land can lead to erosion of soil into the river. Now, clearing of land, what can they do? They too can lead to the erosion. Means, if layers are clear, what will happen? The soil will get eroded into the river. Waste and sewage generated by industries can get into the water supply, introducing large organic pollutants in the ecosystem. Now, waste and sewage, which are generated by the industry, they can even get into the water supply and they can introduce many organic pollutants in the ecosystem. Water can become contaminated with toxic or radioactive material from the industry's mine sites and abundant hazardous wastewater. Now, water, what it can become? Water can also become contaminated if toxic or radioactive material get from the industries or mine sites get mixed in the water. Acid precipitation is caused when the burning of fossil fuels emits sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. When acid rain occurs, when fossil fuels are burned and they emit sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. Sulfur dioxide reacts to the water in the atmosphere, creating rainfall which contains sulfuric acid. Now, sulfur dioxide, when it reacts with the water in the atmosphere and creates rainfall which contains sulfuric acid. As acid precipitation falls into lakes, streams and ponds. Now, when acid rain falls into the lakes, streams or ponds, it can lower the overall pH of the waterway. Now, it can lower the overall pH of the waterway, killing vital plant life, thereby affecting the whole food chain. It kills the vital plant life and then it affects the whole food chain. It can also leach heavy metals from the soil into the water, killing fish and other aquatic organisms. Even it can lead many metals from the soil into the water and kills many fishes and even the aquatic organisms. Because of this, air pollution is potential one of the threatening forms of pollution to aquatic ecosystem. Now, because of this air pollution, it is very much potential and it threatens the forms of pollution to the aquatic ecosystem. Agricultural waste. Agriculture include commercial livestock and poultry farming is a source of many organic and inorganic pollutants in surface water. Now, agriculture, what it includes? It includes commercial livestock, even the poultry farming. It is a source of different types of organic and inorganic pollutants in the surface water. Pesticides from agriculture, runoff, metals and processed chemicals are also major sources of water. Now, pesticides and agricultural runoff, that is a metal and processed chemical, they are the major sources of water pollutant. Many pollutants include sewage and fertilizers contain nutrition. Now, many pollutants, what it includes? It includes sewage and fertilizer. And what does it contain? It contains many nutrition such as nitrates and phosphates. In excessive level, nutrients overstimulate the growth of aquatic plants and algae. Now, in excessive level, what happens? Nutrition, they overstimulate the growth of these aquatic plants and even the algae. Excessive growth of this type of organism consequently clog our water bodies, use up dissolved oxygen, and they decompose and block light to deeper water. Now, in excessive level, nutrition which overstimulate the growth of aquatic plants and even the algae, and excessive growth of these types of organisms, it results in the clog of waterways, use up all the dissolved oxygen as they decompose and blocks the light to deeper water. This in turn proves very harmful to aquatic organisms. It affects the respiration ability of the fish and other invertebrates that reside in water. And in turn, what it proves? It proves to very harmful aquatic organisms. This affects the respiratory ability of fish and other invertebrates that lives in the water. Nuclear waste containing radioactive elements contaminate groundwater and then may also enter our body through food chain. Now, nuclear waste, what does it contain? It contains many radioactive elements. It destroys the groundwater and then enter our body through food chain. Oil spill. Waste oil from the city's drain tankers and leakage from oil wells cause oil to seep into the sea and pollute the water. Now, waste oil, that is from the city drains, tankers, leakage from oil wells, all this causes the oil to seep into pass into the sea and then pollutes the water. Few environmental catastrophes are quite dramatic as a massive oil spill at sea. Now, very less environmental catastrophes are there who are quite as dramatic as a massive oil spill at sea. In the aftermath of this type of environmental disaster, the grim-looking sea and oil-soaked beaches look as if they can never be cleaned up, and birds and sea mammals die by thousands. Now, if such type of disaster happens such type of environmental disaster, the sea looks very grim and oil-soaked beaches look as if they could never be get cleaned up, and the birds and sea mammals, they die in thousands of number. The oils on the surface of the sea water get spread due to following. Now, oils on the surface of the sea water, they start spreading due to following reason. Number 1, damage caused to oil tankers by accident. First is the damage which caused to oil tanker, by the accident. Second was natural seepage, that is natural seepage water. Third is what? Offshore production losses associated with oil refinery. Now, offshore production or losses which are linked with oil refinery. And fourth is what? Disposal of used automobile lubricants into the sea. Now, fourth is what? That is the disposal of used automobile lubricant into the sea water. Then comes the oil spread on the seawater acts as insulating layer between the air. Now, oil which spreads in the seawater, it acts just like insulating layer that is between the air and water. Due to this, the oxygen of the atmosphere cannot mix with water. For this reason, oxygen which are dissolved in the atmosphere, they cannot mix with water. The deficiency of dissolved oxygen in water kills varieties of sea animals. The seabirds that fly by dipping into seawater become unable to fly due to the oiling of their skin. Now, deficiency of dissolved oxygen. Now, the deficiency of this dissolved oxygen in water, it kills many sea animals, and the seabirds which catches the fishes by dipping into the seawater, they also become unable to fly because their wings get oily due to their wings get oily. Thermal pollution. Thermal power plants release the recycled hot water into the river, sea, causing water pollution. Now, thermal power plant, it releases this recycled hot water into the river, then sea, which causes water pollution. The hot water raises the temperature of the water body, affecting the man. Now, water, what it does? It raises the temperature of the water body and affects the marine life. The thermal pollution can occur when water is used as a coolant near a power of industrial plant and then is turned into aquatic environment at a higher temperature than it was originally. Now, thermal pollution, where it can occur when this used water cools near the power or the industrial plant, and then again it is returned to the aquatic environment at a higher temperature than it was originally. Thermal pollution can lead to a decrease in the dissolved oxygen level in the water, while also increasing the biological demand of aquatic organisms for gas. Now, thermal pollution, it can even lead to the decrease in the dissolved oxygen level in the water when it increases the biological demand of the aquatic organism for oxygen. Sources of marine water pollution. Marine pollution is defined by the International Oceanographic Commission for the United Nations Educational and Scientific. Now, marine pollution, what it is defined as? It is defined by the International Oceanographic Commission and for the United Nations Educational and Scientific Commission. The introduction by man, directly and indirectly, of the substances into the marine environment, resulting in harm of living sources. Now, introduction by the man, either it is directly or it is indirectly by the substances into the marine environment, it results in the harm of living resources. Hazards to human health. These are too much hazard for human health or hindrance means obstacle to the marine activities and reduction of amenities is called marine pollution, and it is the obstruction to marine world and it reduces the amenities, which is called the marine pollution. Oceans and seas are becoming unsafe for marine life due to increasing pollution. Now, oceans and seas, they are also becoming unsafe due to marine life increasing of pollution. River carry domestic, industrial, commercial and agricultural pollution into the sea. Now, rivers, what it carries? It carries domestic, industrial, commercial and agricultural pollutants into the sea. Sewage is discharged from hotels around the ports and harbors. The sewage, from where the sewage get discharged? It get discharged from the hotels, around the ports, harbors into the sea. The wastewater from ship contains plastic, which is the most harmful to marine life. Now, wastewater, the waste which are disposed from the ship, it contains the plastic and this is most harmful for marine life. It is estimated that thousands of seabirds and marine mammals die each year due to plastic related causes. Now, through the estimation, it is found that thousands of seabirds and marine mammals, they die every year due to plastic related causes. Pollution due to oil spill have adverse effect on marine. Now, pollution due to oil spill, they have great effect on marine ecosystem. The consequences of marine pollution are deadly and are being felt in the form of decreasing fish stocks around the. Now, the results of this marine pollution, they are too deadly and they are being felt in the form of decreasing fish stocks around the world. Sources of marine pollution. What are the sources of marine pollution? First is the marine commerce. Second is the industrial effluent joining sea and ocean. Third is the dumping of radioactive substances into seawater. Fourth is sewage brought to the sea by the river. Fifth is offshore oil rig. Sixth is recreational activity. Seventh is agricultural pollutants brought to the sea by rivers. And with this, I am ending my today's class. Good